Welcome back to Mojo Grip. Mike here. Today we are in Newnan, Georgia, and we're going to do some upset training in the L39.
My name is Brett Wilkes, and I'm an instructor here at Up and Ready Flight Support. We do L29 and L39 type ratings, as well as upset recovery training. So the L39, being a straight wing jet, is probably a great transition airplane to go from general aviation flying to jets. It's not a swept wing jet, so it stalls like a conventional general aviation airplane, which makes it a great transition machine. It's relatively fast. It'll go cross country about 330 knots. You just can't go very far because it doesn't carry a lot of gas. And I guess that was by design. When the Soviets designed it, they didn't want their young aviators taking their L-39s and defecting. So as a result, this really isn't a great cross-country airplane. It's really more designed for 350 nautical mile to 400 nautical mile hops at the most. So the airplane handles a lot like a GA airplane, like a Bonanza or a high-performance piston single. It's very conventional in the stall characteristics. You get a good buffet before it actually stalls, so it warns you that it's going to stall. You do get a brake, but it doesn't want to roll over into a spin very easily. You have to actually force it. So from that perspective, given the approach speeds are around 120 knots, it's not that much faster than, say, a Bonanza. So it's a great transition candidate to go from a high-performance single up into the jet class. It's also one of the few jets you can go out and buy at a price point that is not seven figures. So aside from the fact that it burns a lot of gas, it's not very efficient, you can get into one for a reasonable price. So Up and Ready Flight Support, we have 2 locations and 5 airplanes that we can train in. One of our biggest customer bases is corporate pilots looking for upset training. But we also have a large number of people coming that they just want to fly an L-39. It's a bucket list item. They want to fly a jet, and this is one of the few jets that you can go and get experimental aircraft authorization, but it's the equivalent of a type rating. It's one of the few jets that you can go and get this type of training in the span of a weekend. It's a very straightforward airplane to fly. The systems are very simple. They're more complex than a high-performance piston airplane, but they're much less complex than a twin-engine jet. So it's straightforward to learn in, it's straightforward to fly, it's a great transition candidate. But in addition to people that want to learn how to fly an L-39, a lot of our customers are simply looking for upset recovery training because it gives them a break on their insurance with the corporate airplane that they fly. So I'm going to do a walk around here, show you a little bit about what we need to do before we go flying. We start right here at the cockpit and we move forward. The first thing we check is just to make sure that the nose doors are closed and latched. And then we check for nitrogen pressure. Nitrogen is used for 2 things. One is to inflate the canopy seal so we can pressurize. The airplane is pressurized and air conditioned. And the other is to provide pressure for the hydraulic system. And then we're looking for the weight on wheel switch. This is a really important component on the airplane. Controls several systems, most notably the brakes. So we have to make sure that this weight on wheel switch is engaged once we land. Otherwise, the main brakes will not work. It happens every single time with a first-time student. The first time they land, they forget to push the stick forward and engage this weight on wheel switch. And the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, "We've got no brakes." At which point the instructor says, "Push forward on the stick and you'll have brakes." It's a moment of big relief. We come here to the inlet. We're looking in here for anything that would be foreign object. These are anti-skid brakes. This is the anti-skid right here, this cable. So we're looking to make sure that this cable is intact and it's not cut. You wouldn't want to land without anti-skid. It would only take about a millisecond of brake pressure to blow the tire. So in the L-39, we have 2 pitot tubes. The right pitot tube is the primary, the left pitot tube is the standby. And one of the mods that people often do on L-39s to make them go a little bit faster, they'll remove these pitot tubes in each wing and they'll just put one in the nose. In fact, our aircraft at the Norfolk location has that done. So this little tube is the exit air from the APU. So this airplane uses an APU to start, and until the engine start is actually happening, all of the air that the APU is generating comes out of this. So If you walk too close to the side of the airplane when the APU is running, it'll take your hat right off and a little bit more. This is a Flettner tab. The trim tab is on this side. What this tab does is when you deploy the flaps, it automatically moves, and so it removes the control pressure from the stick as you deploy flaps.
Today we're gonna go through some safety procedures on not just flying this airplane, but also flying any other airplane. Without further ado, let's go.
Unit traffic up thrust 139, Mike, departing runway 33 will be a left turn out, southwest out.
Now, why would a corporate jet pilot get some upset training done? Well, imagine you're flying along at flight levels and boom, you get hit by wake turbulence at 33,000 feet. How do you recover? The plane nosedives and noses up and you find yourself in an awkward, unusual attitude. This is how you recover. So after getting my own upset training done, it's time to have some fun. Brett suggested he'd like to do some rolls. Why not?
Yeah.
Man, I've had so much fun flying the L39 today, and this plane is smooth as butter.
The L39 is known as a great trainer, but you don't have to be a fighter jet pilot to fly one of these. You can get a type rating in the L39, but it's also great for upset recovery training. So whether you're a jet corporate pilot or you're just an everyday pilot like myself, you can go up in this and get some upset recovery training.
To find out more about the upset recovery training or to get an L29 or an L39 type rating, go to upandreadyflight.com and all the information is there for you.